This is RTP. This is RTP180.
Thanks a lot, Wade. I work for Syngenta, and we develop both seeds, novel seed varieties, everything from soy and corn to watermelon and tomato. Those are not in the same seeds, those are separate. As well as crop protection chemicals to help farmers feed the world. And that's a real exciting motivation to get me to go to work in the morning. But growing food, agriculture is a really tough business, and less than 2% of the current population is involved in agriculture, so most of us have a big disconnect from agriculture. And so one of the challenges is that the population is increasing, our farmland is not, so we have to grow more food on the existing acres. And so we've made a lot of progress from 1960 to 2005. We've been able to double productivity. By 2030, we need to have another 25% increase in productivity, and it'll have to keep going. And if that's not enough challenge, as much as we like to eat our food, there are a whole bunch of insects, diseases, nematodes that are just licking their lips, getting ready to eat our crops in the field. And one I want to point out at the end, fall armyworm, which has been a big problem in the Americas as long as we've been growing crops. It is recently, a couple years ago, it moved over to Africa, where it's actually causing biblical plague-level destruction of the corn there. And just this year, it's been found in Asia. So it's a real big problem. Now, the good news is, though, a company like ours is developing a number of crop protection chemicals that help farmers grow and defeat these pests. Now, unfortunately, pesticides have a really bad rep. They have bad PR, and a lot of people, it's a bad word. And this is really unfortunate because the pesticides that we develop are very effective for controlling the pests. They're safe for human food, they're safe for animal feed, and they're safe for the environment. Now, we're getting to the magical part. I want to ask a question. How many people think that organic agriculture or organic food does not use pesticides? I know you're not that smart. I want to see hands up. Wade, hands up. Okay. That is completely wrong. Organic agriculture uses a lot of pesticides. And this is what I call the great misconception. Most of the consumers, most people in my family think they don't. The definition for organic agriculture, you're supposed to use a natural extract, like from a plant, a fungus, a bacteria, or from using inorganic salts. There is no reason from a scientific standpoint that a natural chemical is any better than a synthetic one. And really, it's interesting. I looked into this because I'm very passionate about agriculture. And I don't know if Maria teaches in her class about vitalism, but I remember, this is one thing I remember from organic chemistry from when I took it, that there was this concept that the chemicals in living bodies, in our bodies, had a vital principle, a vital energy, and that's why we were alive. And the way you can think about it is Dr. Frankenstein used electricity to animate his monster in Mary Shelley's immortal classic novel. And this energy was thought to be what gave life. And this was disproved with the synthesis of urea over 200 years ago. But this same philosophy pervades a lot of our culture still to today. Now, it's kind of nonsense because there are a lot of, natural doesn't mean safe. I wouldn't want to eat a poison ivy salad or be bit by one of the copperheads that migrate around my neighborhood when I'm walking my dog. So really, the question in modern agriculture that we use is not where the product comes from. It's how effective is it and how safe is it? And now finally, at this point, Charles Dickens is probably turning over in his grave with my title here, but I want to compare two insecticides. On your left is pyrethrin, and pyrethrins are an organic insecticide. It's very effective. It kills a lot of pests. We call that broad spectrum pesticide. It is also toxic to people in high doses, but it's a very effective pesticide. The problem is that it degrades very rapidly in sunlight. On the right is permethrin, which is one of what we call the pyrethroids. And the pyrethroids are synthetic molecules based on the structure of the pyrethrin, but then we've modified them to make them more effective. And permethrin that I show here, also very broad spectrum, kills a lot of pests, and it's very stable in sunlight. So you can spray it on your crop, it lasts longer, you need fewer treatments. So a very great advantage to the farmers. Another really interesting application that's newer for permethrin is they're actually embedding it into clothing so that it will repel and kill the pests of people that we are really familiar around here, ticks and mosquitoes, which cause a lot of disease, a lot of death. So it's not just for agriculture, it gets actually a consumer use. And so really for modern agriculture, as opposed to the magical thinking of vital nature and natural compounds, we need to feed the world. And so really my pitch is I want to go with modern agriculture. Magical thinking is great for love or for Wade's fantasy football team. But if we want to feed the world, we want to go with what's effective and safe. Thank you.